Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Balaji and I will be the sergeant for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the meeting number 867 for the Medley Toastmasters Club. Before starting the meeting, I like to mention 3 ground rules that we follow in our Toastmasters Club. As Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion and politics. So please refrain from discussing this topic. Another main point, please turn off your mobile phone or put them in silent mode. I will give you 2 minutes time. Thank you. Last point, please do not cross talk. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I hand over the stage to Presiding Officer. I like to introduce the Presiding Officer for today's meeting. Toastmaster Cheif Soundararajan is a IT digital product manager at a Fortune 50 company. Currently, the District 120's new club mentor chair and also president of Medley Toastmasters Club. She also served the role of Vice President Membership, Vice President Public Relationship in Medley. Club mentor for Walter Toastmasters Club. She is a passionate about contesting in speech contest and as the representative Medley in the district level in evaluation speech contest. She is also district level podium finisher in the international speech contest and table topics. I like to welcome our President Cheif Soundararajan.
For that wonderful introduction and for setting the ground rules, Toastmaster Balaji. I welcome you all to the Medley meeting 867. With the sound of this gavel, let's open the Medley 867 meeting. I want to welcome the dignitaries present over here. Distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham, who is the past district PR manager, past president of Medley, and he has done various leadership roles in the district level as well. Welcome you, sir. It's time to also welcome the educational speaker for today's session, past district CJ of District 120, Distinguished Toastmaster Subramanian. Like to welcome the visiting Toastmasters, Toastmaster Anuradha and Toastmaster Shavika. I would like to also welcome the guests present here. It's time for us to get to know about the guest introduction. The guest, please. You can come here and share a quick introduction about yours. Your name?
Gaurav.
Guest Gaurav.
Hello everyone, my name is Gaurav Pandey. You can all refer to me as GP. I'm basically from UP, but I've born and brought up in Chennai, and for the last 9 to 10 years I've been working in sales and marketing for a software company. Now I have quit my job to focus on my MBA applications, which hopefully if everything goes well by September I should be flying out for my MBA. Being in sales and marketing, as my job revolves around talking, communication, oral, verbal, email communication, I was just wondering if and how joining the Toastmasters Club could benefit me for my personal growth as well as my career. So that's what brings me here.
Sure. We are lucky to have you here. How do you come to know about Toastmasters plus also about Medley Toastmasters?
Toastmasters, growing up, my dad has always spoken about a Toastmasters Club. I think he was part of one way back in his college days. So I just did a random Google search and I found out the Toastmasters original website. And then I live in Adyar itself, so based on my location, this was the closest for me. So I just reached out, and I think I spoke to you on the phone. And,
yes, you did.
that brought me here.
Cool. Enjoy the session. Thank you for joining us and wishing you all the best for your next steps on your MD journey. You can join us. So I'd like to start off with one small incident that happened 3 weeks back. So from this club, distinguished Toastmaster Guru Prasad called me 3 weeks exactly. He said, Cheif, I exactly wanted 1 minute to talk to you. I said, yes, Guru, we can talk. It was a Friday. I was at work in my office at Bangalore. He said, Cheif, how are you placed on Jan 23rd? So if he had asked me what I'm going to do the next day, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's asking about Jan 23rd. As every IT professional who's sitting in front of the system, I opened my laptop and calendar to check which day it falls on. It was a Friday. If Guru had asked me about Saturday, it would have been a Toastmasters. If it is on Sunday, it would have been again a Toastmasters. But why is he calling me for Friday? That too, I'm sure he would not talk about Toastmasters for Friday. So before even I could talk, he told me, Cheif, this is something interesting, this is different, and I wanted you to be part of it. Said, I opened my calendar, it looked empty. 3 weeks back, Jan 23rd would always be empty. So I said, okay, I'll be there. Then he said, it's for a college session and you'll enjoy. I said, okay sir, we'll do it. I kept the call. Week passed, no information, nothing. And I was relaxed and I forgot about that conversation at all. Then after the second week, I got a call from the dean of that particular college. She spoke to me, ma'am, Guru sir talked a lot about you and you are the right person to do a session for us and we have sent you an invite. I said, okay ma'am, I will be there. Can you check the invite now? Okay, I will check the invite. I opened my mail, I saw the invite was there and then I saw title was already decided. The theme of the session was already decided. The duration was also decided. And it was mentioned as critical thinking. I started to think critically from that moment, what does that mean? And facilitator Cheif, duration 2.5 hours. It was very difficult for me to sit for 25 minutes when I was a student and I'm going to have a session or handle a session for 2.5 hours. Before I could even get that into my mind, she said, ma'am, Guru Prasad told a lot about you. I was thinking, what did Guru tell him? I said, ma'am, okay ma'am, I will get back to you, and then I take the call. Immediately I called Guru. He is not reachable. And I'm continuously calling him for 3 days. He was not reachable and he said, I'm traveling, Cheif, I'll get back to you. The week passed and I hardly have few days now for the session. And then I had to resort to one other friend who is a trainer specialist. I called her, who is also a Toastmaster from another club. She handles almost all those trainings. And I called her and said, look, this is my situation, 2.5 hours, something called critical thinking. I am not able to think properly after hearing that name. And then she said, you are a Toastmaster. I said, yeah. For how many years? 3 years. Aren't you ashamed to say that you are a Toastmaster if you are not even able to speak for 2.5 hours? I said, I can speak for 7 minutes for 2.5 hours. If that is not what Toastmasters had taught you, then you are not a Toastmaster for 3 years. I felt ashamed a bit. The representing contest, taking leadership tools. But if I am not able to speak for 2.5 hours, saying, okay, I will do it. And then I kept the call. I was thinking what to do. I had exactly 5 days before the session, which I didn't even know about. So I started to do researches. And then I enrolled for a course on critical thinking. Right? And it was a paid course. I spent nearly 1 hour on every 4 days. And then I completed the course and I had to pass an exam for that for me. So after the 4th day, I wrote an exam where I need to get 40 marks out of 100 to call myself as a critical thinker. I went there, attended it, first attempt failed. Second attempt, again went through all the materials and did the exam on the next day. Then I passed it on with distinction. That's when I had the satisfaction saying that, oh, okay, now I have the credibility to take some topic which I don't even know and stand before a student, 50 students and talk about it, right? And I was still nervous, I was prepared mentally completely, but then it was the first time I'm going to take a session for 2.5 hours. So the day happened, I went to the college. That day I saw Guru in the morning. He was there for another session, and then I saw a few other Toastmasters. But the dean came to me. She said, like, I'm going to sit in your session only. It's like, God. And all the trainers have been there in the past. This is the first time I'm going to be taking that away. And she said, like, I am curious to know what you're going to learn. Ma'am, I am curious about myself and what I'm going to talk about. I went there, delivered a session for 2.5 hours. It was completely engaging. And after the 2.5 hours, the dean came up to me and said, like, last 3 years we are having this session. This is the best critical thinking session I have ever had. And that gave me a little bit of goosebumps, and there was a standing ovation that we had towards the end of the session. And when I came back, Guru was like, how is it? It was all good. Right? And then that's when I realized this courage to say yes to something that I have not known earlier, to stand in, or probably to step into the crowd which is full of unknown faces, right? And then to pick up some random topic and then speak. This all didn't actually come from that certification or from the course, but it all started from this place of Toastmasters, wherein, let's say in case of table topics, or what we call it as impromptu speeches, we push ourselves and try to speak on spot. In case of prepared speeches, we can trust our own writing skills and scripts. Same way, in terms of evaluation, that helps us grow. And Toastmasters didn't just tell us how to speak, but it also helped us to think beyond what we could do, say yes to unknowns and come out of our shell. So thanks to this platform and for the guests, Toastmasters is a century-old organization that was started by a founder called Medley in 1924 to help people grow their communication and leadership skills. So every meeting in Toastmasters is taken forward by a person called TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day. And today, this role is performed by a special person who's been with Medley for quite some time. He's a communication coach, a veteran who is interested in photography, designing. He's taken up various roles. He's been associated with various organizations, been a communications head at Ashok Leyland, and he's got his DTM twice, Distinguished Toastmaster title, which is the highest credential in Toastmasters in an educational level. And this role is performed by Distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Temperature outside was 25 degrees, made worse by, cooler by some drizzle. So how are you all feeling? I feel nice. I feel nice because after 1 year, I'm back here as a TMOD. Why 1 year? It's a good question, we will answer some other time. But the point is, do you agree that questions are a nice way to get started?
Yes.
Here we are. In which case, when we have a brilliant idea, something out of the box, do we share it? When we find something different, or do we ask a question? Do we? That is the question. To me, I find people do not want to ask questions. Why is that? Any thoughts? Why? Why do they not want to ask questions?
People may judge.
Okay.
What if the question is dumb?
Sorry?
What if the question is dumb?
Okay.
If they have to answer the question at the end.
That's a tricky one. Very good. That's how you. For me, I put together 5 of them. You can add. One is indifference. Why me? Why can't we? Why can't he? Second is we pay the price. The boss doesn't like questions being asked. You may even get your promotion denied or at least deferred, right? Is it so? So why ask question and get into trouble? Third, ignorance is bliss. Isn't it better that I drop dead whenever it's a designated time, when the red card comes up without the 30 seconds grace, rather than worrying about, oh my God, 31st December is my deadline? It's better, ignorance is bliss. Possibly. Fourth, I find is group acceptance. Man is a social animal. So are women, by the way, no exceptions there. So we want to conform. We want to feel comfortable. We don't want confrontation. We are fine saying yes. So questions disturb that peace. And one more I thought, this is dangerous. The frozen brain. The 2-minute noodle man, modern man, doesn't have time for research. So his brain is as it is now. The influencers in all shades of colors and the marketeers and the advertisers, they freeze our brain further and get in. Especially, you know this, that this passivity, we lose our innate original sense of critical thinking. Critical thinking, let me link with your topic. So to me this is the issue, but to me it's dangerous because mankind progressed and came where he is now only thanks to questions, especially two of them. Why it takes guts to question through logic what is accepted? Why not? Why not is creative. It is again imagination added to courage. You know, the guts to look into the unknown, the unproven, the untested. Therefore, one example. Do you know that in Punjab, they call it Punjab, right? Lassi is made in washing machines. Yes, makes sense. Volume tallies. So it's possible. Now the question, what next? This I am going to answer on behalf of all our guests who must be wondering what next, right? So anticipating that, this is what is next. Today's session has 4 sections. One, the prepared session, prepared meeting, where we have guides, books we have. We also have mentors whose help we take and present. Today we have 3. Then you have table talks, where on the spot, think and shoot from your lip. You will enjoy it, especially when you are seated and somebody else is sweating. Third is evaluation. We give feedback. This is part of our improvement process. We give feedback to the speakers for them to improve. And then there is a season special bonus. This is an education session. More of it you will hear later. Now, I have great pleasure in introducing the evaluation team. It's a very structured program, as guests will soon realize. Here, this team is headed by a general evaluator and tag team and evaluators put together. And today's evaluator is Toastmaster Dr. Shanmugavel M. He is a doctorate. He is a scientist, a researcher, an associate professor, and works in the neighboring CLRI. But for me, what matters, what I strike most for me is humility that comes from wisdom. I asked him this life's question, and he said, when he had completed 14 years in Jammu and Kashmir, somebody asked him, hey, why don't you try for a transfer? He tried, he did, he got it, and here he is. That's a question, he said, that changed his life. Without any further ado, I would welcome the Chief General Evaluator to thank you so much.
ஏன் என்ற கேள்வி இங்கு கேட்காமல் வாழ்க்கை இல்லை. நான் என்ற எண்ணம் கொண்ட மனிதன் வாழ்ந்ததில்லை. பகுத்தறிவு பிறந்ததெல்லாம் கேள்விகள் கேட்டதனாலே, உரிமைகளை பெறுவதெல்லாம் உணர்ச்சிகள் உள்ளதினாலே. This is a song in ஆயிரத்தில் ஒருவன். The hero and the heroine were the first Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. This was released in 1965. This song says, without asking question why, there is no life here. No human has ever lived, carrying the thoughts of I alone. Rational thinking was born because questions were asked. Rights were claimed because emotions were existed. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. Today's theme is question or question mark? The DMOD, TTM, Thomas T. Abraham, chosen the theme with insightful. Asking what, why, who, where, when, and how builds clear understanding, effective communication, logical thinking, and overall growth. As a general evaluator, my job is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes of everything that happened and didn't happen. The general evaluation should highlight how members perform in their preparation and organization, including enthusiasm, meeting roles, carrying out duties themselves, and timeliness. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. The guest must also adhere to the Toastmaster rules such as timing, accounting, and grammatical usage. Today, we have 3 prepared speeches, evaluation, and table topic speeches. These speeches will be evaluated both qualitatively and quantitatively by our team in out of the box. Qualitative refers to speech structure, content, delivery, body language, and expression, etc. Individual evaluator will conduct this qualitative analysis with insightful. The qualitative analysis will be conducted by our tech team comprised of timer, accountant, and grammarian. Today's timer is a data scientist who lives with her daughter, spouse, and parents. Her favorite hobbies are reading novels, watching movies and series on OTT, and above all, sleeping. Her favorite quote is, "Consistency is the key to progress." In her name, this consistency and promise also reflect, because her name is Toastmaster Satyavati. I welcome her to read her timer instruction.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and fellow guests. When I saw the theme for the day, it was a question mark. It got me curious. I was like, what this could be? Why this element of puzzle? But then, being a timer, I decided that I should not think. I should get into the business. See, curiosity could lead to a trigger. It could lead to ideas, but you need time management to turn that sparking idea into desired outcomes, draw insights. So, let me help you all manage time today. For the time management, the instructions are like this. The icebreaker speech will be of duration 4 to 6 minutes. At the end of the 4th minute, I'll show the green card. At the end of the 5th minute, it's going to be the yellow card. And at the end of the 6th minute, the red card will be flashed. For other speeches, it's going to be, the duration is going to be 5 to 7, for the prepared speeches, right, let me clarify. The duration is going to be 5 to 7 minutes. At the end of the 5th minute, I'm going to show the green card. At the end of the 6th minute, it's going to be yellow card. And at the end of the 7th minute, it's going to be the red card. For evaluations, the duration is 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of the at the end of 2 minutes, it's going to be green card. At the end of 2 minutes, 30 seconds, it's going to be yellow card. And at the end of 3rd minute, it's going to be red card. And for table topics, the duration given is 2 minutes. At the end of 1 minute, there's going to be green card. At the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, yellow card. And at the end of 2 minutes, it's going to be red card. Thank you.
Thank you. Then the all-rounder. The all-rounder for today's meeting is a young, energetic student pursuing a PPA. His favorite hobbies are spending time with friends and playing football. His favorite quote is, "Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." He is a very attentive listener and loves hearing all kinds of stories, perspective, opinion, etc. Above all, he loves the role of all-rounder. So please careful. Now I call upon today's all-rounder Toastmaster Anis Vermaya.
Imagine you're listening to a song. You're involved in the instruments playing together. You're listening to the guitar, the keyboard, the violin, the flute, and all the instruments. But you will focus on only one instrument, let's say the keyboard. You will only listen to the notes, the pauses, the repeated notes playing again. So the flow keeps on going. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to listen to a song, but I'll listen to your speech. I'll listen to a set of words which you will use, such as the filler words or repeated words. Filler words such as etc. And the repeated words such as I, like, or one which I use right now. And at the end, I will give these words, whatever you said, I'll give the report at the end of the meeting. And don't worry, this won't be in your resume. And now note, just like one wrong note can ruin an entire song, these words can affect the confidence in your speech. Thank you.
Next, the grammarian. The grammarian of today is an HR professional in the IT, banking, healthcare, and non-profit sector. Currently juggling between being a mom to a daughter, work and go. Please welcome our grammarian Toastmaster Kritika R.
Hello everyone. When I first heard the theme of the day, which is critical thinking, I was wondering how can I link the word of the day to the theme of the meeting. And every day in my work, I always hear the word insight. I remember after every meeting, my manager would just call me and ask me, what were the insights? What did you learn from the meeting, etc. So I'm sure even in your everyday work life, you all would have used the word insight. So similarly, as a role of chameleon, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings or thoughts. It is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, which is insight. Now, the meaning of insight is it refers to the clear and deep understanding of a situation, problem or person. It goes beyond the surface level knowledge and reflects the ability to perceive underlying truths or patterns. To use it in a sentence, we can say, for example, the project gave me valuable insight into how teamwork drives results. Now, coming to the idiom of the day, it is think out of the box. Similarly, in our workplace, when we have to give reports to the management, or when we have to submit our project work, we are all have to think out of the box. What can we do differently? So the meaning of the idiom think out of the box is to approach a problem or situation in a creative, innovative or unconventional way rather than to rely on traditional methods. For example, we can use think out of the box in a sentence as to engage the audience, the speaker choose to think out of the box and open up with a personal story. So at the end of the day, I shall give my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All the speakers are requested to use the word of the day, insights and the idiom, think out of box. Especially TMOD, table topic master and the evaluator, as they have the enough time to use this word. Now I will hand over the podium to the DMO.
Thank you very much. Friends, how are you enjoying the flight so far?
Good.
Nice. The initial announcements have been very friendly, with the result that we are 10 minutes late, but we are in good, safe hands. We will make it on time. Don't you worry. You can keep your doctor's appointment without any disappointment. So we all go on to prepared speeches. Prepared speeches are the real strides that our members make through their preparation towards the ultimate goal of becoming good speakers. Here we have 3 speeches. First of them is by Toastmaster Krishna Priya. She is attempting, you have the details here. Importantly, Becoming Me is the title. As for the speaker, she is a BE in biomedical engineering, feet on both sides, very clever. Currently a project associate in CLRI, close by, neighbor. She loves to paint. She also plans to set her future by using a student visa. All the best to you there. In school, she found making friends stressful. Then she asked, what the hell? Friendship is for feeling good. That changed her. She stayed with friends who came naturally, clever at an early age. So we will listen to the first speaker, but not before we hear the speech objectives from the evaluator, Toastmaster Priyadarshini R, who will do this. Kindly keep a note of the objectives, which should be the basis for you to do the voting at the end. Therefore, here is calling the evaluator.
Hi everyone, and today Krishna Priya has come to give her first icebreaker speech under the Pathway Presentation Mastery Level 1, Project 1, and the duration is 4 to 6 minutes, and the purpose of the speech is to introduce herself to the Toastmaster Club and as well to learn the basic structure of the public speech. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. So here is inviting the icebreaker.
So, good evening, dear Toastmasters and fellow guests. So, I'm Krishna Priya. So, to begin with, I have an elder sister who's almost 7 years elder than me, and I'm the youngest sibling, not just within my family, among the all cousins from my both brother and parents. And I think that should explain a lot like how I was raised. So I was pampered and spoiled a lot. It's like whatever I say goes. That's the rule. And I was specially pampered by my grandfather and my sister. So to my sister, since the age gap was a bit long, I was not just a sister, I was more like a kid to her. So just like my name, I had 2 mothers growing up. So to my grandfather, I kind of resembled his mother. So in his eyes, I could never go wrong. And to let me explain to what extent he actually pampered me. So when returning from the school, my van usually sends me drop me right at the entrance of my apartment, but I don't go up directly to my home. I just ring the bell, sit on the first staircase. My grandfather would come down, take my bag and lunch bag and take me upstairs. and it does not end there. Once we go inside, he removes my shoes, socks, ID card, washes my face, and gets me dressed for change. And I would be, while I'm sitting on my sofa and stretching my legs and watching cartoon, he would get me my milk and snack. He didn't do this like for 1 or 2 years. He did it till I was in the 6th grade. Like, he would do that. And in my 7th standard, he kind of fell sick, and soon after, he passed away. So we shifted to a new area because that house held a lot of memory for us with him. So we couldn't be there, so we shifted to a new area. So it was new school, new people, and everything was new. So it was a lot of change for me. For someone like me, who never goes and talks to someone like first, like I have never been done that because it's like everything came easy for me, so I never go and do it first. So it was very difficult for me to adjust in new school. So the whole first year, I didn't speak much, I didn't make friends. So I had a whole lot free time. Since I didn't know what else to do, I ended up studying a lot, and that made me topper of the year. And I kind of got sent them in multiple subjects. That's when my parents went, okay, she has some hope in life, she can become something, and her childhood dream of becoming doctor can be considered. Okay, let's consider this, she has some hope. That's when the real drill started. So since they knew I could become something, they started looking for coaching centers, which were to enroll, what coaching should be given to make sure she gets a medical seat. So in my 9th standard, my school itself had a niche coaching within the school. So they wanted to start off simple. So my 9th went like my weekdays packed, and weekends I used to be free. But in 10th, they felt like the intensity was less. I need to go more classes. So they enrolled me in Akash. It's a very well-known tuition center for students who are aiming for NEET. So my weekdays were packed with schools and evening subject tuition for maths, and weekends I would hold 2 days in Akash from morning 8 to evening 6 o'clock. So just like that, my 3 years went in preparing for the NEET, and since the hope on me was getting heavier day by day, I was not able to cope up with it, and I failed in my NEET. I scored, but it was not within the cutoff to get a medical seat. So I was confused because from my 1st standard, I was dead set on becoming doctor. I never had second plans. I'm not going to do anything else as doctor. But my parents didn't want me to take a leap year and do again try for NEET. They were completely against it. You have to make a choice. You have to do something else. So I was thinking what to do. And then when I was searching, I got an option biomedical engineering. It was something it would connect me with medicine, and it was engineering alternative options. So I took biomedical engineering for my graduate. And as I went inside engineering, I realized having skills, being able to have insightful thoughts or thinking out of the box is not really done in the real world. I need to have communication skills. So that's when I started to look for clubs that would help me, and I ended up in Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What a way to break the ice with such warm insight and joy. We now move on to the second speaker, who is Toastmaster Pradeepkumar. A word, with his permission, authorized by him, not to worry. He finds that his whole job is managing people, projects, people and expectations in that order. His crucial, I think, please come over after your photograph appears. Yeah, please come, we are ready now. I asked him the same question about his risk. He said his boss asked him, why are you keeping the ball in your court? Dad told him, never sit on work. Thereafter, he has never sat on work or at work. Over to you. The evaluator then for this is Toastmaster Rajshekar, yes, of course. Please, thank you.
Good afternoon all. My last speaker, Pradeepkumar, is running his project 2 under level 1 in driving leadership pathway. The project name is writing a speech with purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn or give you basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Duration is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Thank you very much. All the best, sir.
Pradeep, you're on mute. If you're speaking, can you unmute yourself? Sorry, team, I was talking on mute. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good afternoon, everyone. I am Pradeepkumar S, who's still recovering from work from home. Today, I'm gonna really bring how the situation comes, work comes home, and how to handle it and managing it without muting it. We have 2 mute buttons in our life. One is on the Teams and Zoom. Right now, many of them used to it. The other one is on the family which we are living together. Let me explain how my meetings will look like. It's perfect 9 a.m. in the morning. Beautiful, right? It's not IST, it's EST, Eastern Standard Time, where most non-IT professionals will be returning back to home or already having a good family time, enjoying watching TV serials with more twists and turns. It's 6 to 9 is a golden hour for me. Any guessing what's golden hour? Okay, don't think that you'll get a buy one get one, pay to get two offers or deals during the time. It's completely jam-packed with back-to-back meetings. Those who works for North American clients. And most of my meetings are either negotiations or handling the escalations or not making the deliverables on time, which was promised by somebody else. A wrong commitment, wrong promises. So I have to handle these things. Let's get into the meetings. You have to find the correct meeting link. Might be you all wondering, right? Why you have to find the correct meeting link? Sometimes you might be double booked, you might be triple booked. You don't want to be embarrassed in joining a wrong meeting link after joining it. So you have to find the correct link. Before joining, make sure your camera button is turned off and join the meeting link and say good morning team and mute immediately. and the next thing is, you are so lucky if no one is on the video. If everyone is on camera, no other choice, the golden rules is also to be on camera. Set the camera at the perfect angle to look there, to show you bright and beautiful. And the next thing is, make sure your background is blurred. And also make sure that you have a set a scenic background to distract the meeting for a few seconds. Thanks buddy. Then it gets derailed, the conversation. Now, let's get started the meeting. The meeting goes on. You never know when your name will be called on. You are so lucky and you are focused, you can unmute and immediately you can give your status updates. If you are not, finding the meeting chat window in the thousands of tabs open, it will be very hard, and unmuting is the biggest challenge. And the same question repeats. Pradeep, are you there? If you're talking on mute. Again the same answer. Sorry team, I was talking on mute. After all the hurdles, when you start into the meeting and you start give your updates, your mother comes with a freshly baked any snacks after watching any YouTube channel and presenting in front of you to take it and share the feedback. Can you all imagine how you have to react and all the face reactions you have to give? And you are so lucky if you are not on video, you can at least show the reactions. If you are on the video, you have to take your hand behind the laptop monitor screens and you have to give all the hand gestures to make them stop. Despite of doing all those things, your mother never ends and you never understand the love languages. This situation not only happens with my mother, my super boss. My wife directly enters exactly when I'm on video. After seeing on video, she runs out and scolds me. You should have informed me earlier. Now, proactively, next time, if I lock my door and attend the meetings, they knock the door 1,000 times. Sometimes after the meeting in between, you manage to open the door and ask what do you want. You know what the answer you get? We forgot because you opened at the wrong time and we never know why you want. Again, you have to continue your meetings. That's how you have to end up. Now, this situation goes on. And you have to consolidate all the meeting invites, all the insights of the meetings, and you have to present to the leadership. And this is the perfect time for your kids to fight and come to you for a solution. The situation goes on, and your kids never understand whether you are in a meeting or what you are doing. They'll come for your judgment and they get look for answers. You all can wonder why did they go to the mother. If they go to the mother, the action is doubled up. So we have to end up like we have to solve the problem. We can show the reactions and hand gestures to our mother and wife, not to the kids, and they never understands. Now, after despite of working from home for 5 years, I realized home and are no longer separate. So they are happening together. Like opening 1,000 browser tabs and you never know which one is making noise. That hit me hard. Working from home is actually working with home. I started sharing my calendar invites and meeting agendas with my family. I clearly set the expectations, like I have an important meeting, and set the boundaries. Life is noisy, life is messy, and life calls your name at the wrong time specifically. You have to clearly call out the boundaries in the home. So the office meetings might be ending, but these situations in home are never ending. So next time when life calls your name, smile and loudly say, "You're on mute, life, not me." Thank you everyone.
You are truly on mute during the meeting, but no doubt here you are loud and clear. Well done. We now move to the final speaker. The final speaker is Toastmaster Senthil Kumar. As the head, the chair of the BTPR, he is my boss in our subgroup, and he is a very, very earnest soldier of Medley. Hats off to you. He also works to live in an IT company, and the interesting thing is, last year, for fun, he picked up writing travel points, but it's become serious. He has already got 1 lakh plus likes, and what's the other one?
Views.
No, not views. Views? Shares. Over to you. Before that, may I have there you are. Our all-weather evaluator. Thank you for coming in. Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Today, our Toastmaster Senthil Kumar Ji is going to deliver his speech from Presentation Mastery, Level 4, Managed Project Successfully, with the title 2.0. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his team. The purpose of the first speech is for the member to give a short overview of the plan for his project. Timer, please note, time is 2 to 3 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Senthil Kumar Ji.
2 to 3 minutes with a 30-second grace, as we know. And here is presenting the last of the speakers, Toastmaster Senthil Kumar, Medley 2.0. Medley 2.0, Toastmaster Senthil.
Thank you, TMOD. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Any guess what Medley 2.2 is? Chitti arrives in Medley. So, yeah, Medley 2.0 is we are building a new website for our club actually. First, the question maybe arrives as our TMOD said the question mark, right? Why we already had a website, right? So the question is, we had 3 major problems faced in our website currently. First one is the last 1 year we are facing for the cost for hosting and domain renewal. We are having a huge price actually. It's around per yearly we are around 16,000 per year we need to pay for the hosting and domain. So that's the issue we are faced. So when I elected as a BPPR, so I realized I discussed with Narendra, we are facing the last 6 months regarding the renewal problem. So then we decided to finding the cheap and best the the hosting provider who will be providing the cheapest cost. And then we found another issue. I tried to update all our VPPR account details. So it's very difficult. It's kind of the old TV antenna, right? Sometimes working, sometimes refreshing does not work. So that kind of issues I face because of the outdated plugins. So that plugins also does not have any support currently because they stopped the support. Then also we are always depending on the hosting providers. If I want any change, if I want to change any new pages, if I want to get any insights, how much views we got, what are the analytics we get, it does not be able to get without depend on the hosting providers. So that's how we initiate the process. So first I contact our president, Toastmaster Cheif. She immediately said, why not, we can do that. So we plan for the three approaches, three phases here. So first one is, we are already having some lot of huge data that we need to be backup from the old hosting providers Bumble. Then we need to build a website with our team. Then we are going to launch. So here, what are the features we can implement? We already are having just website. What are the things we can do? So as our new guest said, right, he found the website and he tried to contact the VP, right? So what we can do? So the immediate action we can do. When someone come into our website, they can live chat with our education vice president education. So immediately he can be chat. So that feature we are going to implement our website. Then every meeting we are recording the video. That also we can be automatically, it will be dynamically rendered in our website. That features we will improve, we implement. Then the meeting calendar. So every meeting we are taking lot of highlight points and lot of useful things, leadership and communication things we are having, like the group photos, everything. That also will be every week will be shared. And as well, we are having kind of where Medley. So first thing is when Medley arrives the quality. When I went to outside of the Medley, everybody says Medley is a quality. So right. So we are having quality speakers and leaders, like our DTM Subramanian everybody. So they will be always ready to share the articles related to leadership and communication. So we are expecting every month they will be release some useful articles. So that's what we plan. The timeline, first 2 weeks, we are planning to take a backup. So we contacted with the Bumble, we get some data which is already having. Next, we are started to developing the website. And next, we are migrating the old data into a new website. And finally, we are ready to launch. Yeah, we are having the project team, guidance team. What are the things I can do every time? I contact my mentor, President Toastmasters S. For the data migration, we are depending on our old hosting provider, BT. And next development, I am taking care of that. And next, the testing, our Toastmaster Narayan will be helping to test 18 bugs, so he will be helping in the team. And the deployment and launch, Toastmaster Balaji will be taken care of that. Yeah. For the communication, what we are going to do, so we are not in same place, right? So we will connect with the emails. For the WhatsApp, immediately we can be chat any things we can be discussed. And also for the data, photos, collecting all that things, we are using the Google Drive. And yeah, what are the expected outcome we can get from this website? Yeah, it's a modern platform. So here the main problem, as I said earlier. So our website, when we have new XWD will come, they don't want any technical skill to update our website. So we are building the CMS platform. So anybody can log in. If we give the credentials, they can log in. They can do any changes in the website as well as any content, any new blogs they can be doing. So that's a feature. Yeah, it's a self-service. And the SEO friendly. Yeah, the SEO friendly is the main key, right? So our main target audience instead of the word, right? So our target audience who will facing the problem in the leadership and the communication. So they need to arrive into our website. So that kind of SEO also it will be taking care of that. That's what we had. That's a plan. Yeah. Any questions?
Have you decided where we are hosting?
Sorry?
Have you decided where we are hosting?
Yeah, it's a good question. I need to be mentioned that. We found out third party. They give a very cheap price. It's around 4,500 per year for taking care of the domain and hosting. So our responsibility to build a great website. So they will just take care of to hosting and maintain the road. So all things we will take care. I consider everybody got the point. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Two things I must mention. First of all, very smart thing that you remembered that this project, which is meant for level 4, will not wait for him. So he did that and is using it. Secondly, for all of us, we do not anymore have to follow sequentially the 15 projects. We can jump whichever life offers us as a project. Very important thing I thought. Compliments. Now is the season's special project, rather promise that our XCOM had done. The season being that of contest, of course. So your energies will change if you give me 35 minutes or so to present the education speaker. Preparation beyond model question papers, to be presented by distinguished Toastmaster Subramanian. Allow me a minute. He said nothing more than a minute, so I will obey. He's a distinguished Toastmaster who has been in Medley, beg your pardon, see how possessive I am, in district for the last 9 years plus. He has already served several leadership positions across the divisions and district, including district conference chair of the first ever District 120 conference, which was called Discover 2023. He also served as the district's chief judge for the term 2024-25. His tip, this is interesting, please. His tip for the judges: don't judge a book by the cover. And his tip for all of you: don't judge him by the short intro I'm given. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Thomas sir. And a small disclaimer is that try to make it interactive as much as possible. If you have any questions, you can right away we can discuss, right? So first of all, I think thanks to Toastmaster Jayashree, who was the presiding officer, who gave an inspiring start. She told for a 2.5 hour session, being just 3 years in Toastmasters, don't you feel ashamed? She sounded as if she was talking to me. Being a Toastmaster for over 8 years, aren't you ashamed to give a 35-minute session? It just struck my thought. So thank you so much for that inspiring message. And how many of you think why we should have a contest? Why should we contest?
To test our skills.
To improve. Perfect.
To test our skills. To test the skills that we
To test the skills.
To get the best out of someone.
Excellent. To get the best out of someone. Okay, so what comes to your mind as soon as you hear the word contest? Judging. Okay, so how many of you saw the flyer that was released about my educational session? Okay, what was written over there? I mean, the
Chief Judge.
Chief Judge. So, did you judge? He is not a champion. What he is going to come and talk to? How many of you judged it? How many of you judged it? No, be honest. Okay, so we always judge, and you know what? Every single time we get judged. I'll tell you a small incident. It might be slightly out of the, probably out of the syllabus. So once we went to judges training program. Some of you who might be new, you might not be aware. It is a training program for judges. Okay. So there, while we were on the way to Vellore Institute of Technology in Vellore, so we had to stop by in a restaurant, probably some Murugan Idli Kadai or somewhere, and all the district trios and other all district officers were present. They were sitting in one table, and I along with another person, we were sitting in at the corner of that particular table. And that waiter who was serving the food, he was asking, ma'am, Ashwati was there, the distinguished Toastmaster Ashwati was, ma'am, what do you want? Sir, what do you want? To Mohan, he was asking. And finally, after asking 6 people, suddenly he changed the slang with which he asked. Ayya, what do you want? He asked me. Okay, so just because, do you know what happened? He judged me with my bald hair. Okay, and the white hair. Every single time we get judged, everywhere. Standing as a speaker, you might be evaluated by an evaluator, but all others will be judging. Oh, she didn't prepare well. She has a flamboyant language. You know, he is able to crack the speech in a very positive way. So each one of us get judged, right? So the purpose with which I was given is that try to share what Jayashree and Narendra was telling. Try to share apart from the ballot. You know, we get judged by a set of criteria. Apart from the ballot, what are certain aspects that as a speaker we should think about, okay, for winning a speech, right? Winning a contest. And please remember, I'll iterate this towards the end, there is no such winning formula. So that is the, that is something that we have to accept. However, there are best practices that we could incorporate for bringing a better speech. And I would like to cover certain points which might help to start right from the scratch. How many of you have heard about Arangetram? Or some of you might be a dancer or a singer, you might have done Arangetram. After how many years you get to do? 2 years?
12 years.
More than 7 years it takes, okay? For some students it takes more than 7 years. And they are allowed to do Arangetram only after they achieve some expertise, okay? Now, how many of you give speeches regularly? I know hands. How many of you have contested? Almost everybody. Just think of that Arangetram and try to draw a parallel in terms of contest. Okay, I'll connect this point towards the end. Now, what is the first difficulty when it comes to delivering a speech? What is the first difficulty?
Content.
General speech. Leave
Content.
about contest. Content. What else?
Stage fear.
Sorry?
How
Stage
to
fear.
Stage fear. Okay.
how to make that content into a 5 to 7 minute speech.
Okay, 5 to 7 minute speech. Brilliant. Okay. Delivering it. Okay. What else? Preparation time. Okay, so the first thing, what should I speak? Is this the first thing that always keeps us away from delivering a speech? But why is that hindrance? Once I was standing in the Thiruvanmiyur signal, okay, so I was going in bike, and just in front of me there was a Maruti Omni, okay, so which is a old type where so many children, so it's like it's not a open type car. So many children were sitting, probably around 5 years or lesser to that, and there was one baby girl. I mean the girl child was there, and there were a few other boy child and one more girl child. So they were fighting, they were playing, and I was able to see in that rear window. So that baby girl, that girl child, she was trying to feed other children, okay, in that bus, in that van, and it was so soothing to look at it. And you know what she did? Immediately she turned towards me, okay, and she was trying to feed from that window. She was doing that, okay. So this is one observation. Can't you think this can be converted to a speech? Can't you think? What is the message that you would give? Sharing is caring. What else? Selfless nature. Super. What else? What else? The beauty of childhood. Right? What else? Come on, think. What else? What other message you could deliver? Okay, probably a journey in the traffic. The mesmerizing journey in the traffic. That might be a contrasting, a point towards the traffic, yet it is a mesmerizing journey, right? So for a single small incident, if you are able to convert it to a speech, and as of now we got 4 messages. And think, if you are able to brainstorm, sit with your mentor, how many messages or how many directions you can actually bring in, how many dimensions you can build with a small content, right? Okay, so first you have to keenly observe. Everywhere content is present, everywhere. Wherever you go, wherever you see, if I am coming late to the meeting, with this I can deliver a script, right? So about the punctuality, or probably coming late, sometimes I might have seen some hindrance towards while coming to the meeting, I could convert that into a speech, right? Or coming early, and if I am able to deliver the speech today well, so I can convert that into another speech. So every single aspect that we encounter on a day-to-day basis, that could be converted into a speech, right? So the most important thing is the keen observation that we have towards each and everything that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. And you know, I personally feel the best thing that I do is, in my mobile, in notes or whatever format you have, I always write one-liner about that particular incident. And what I do is, if it is pathways, I completed Distinguished Toastmaster with my traditional curriculum. All the project manuals I explored and I studied earlier. So as soon as I get like 50 one-liners, I try to map this particular story or script would get mapped to which project. Okay, so this is something that worked out well, and the reason why I am covering not the contest right now, I will connect why I am covering this particular portion. So the first thing is keen observation, and also keep them noted, just one-liner or two-liners, how you could remember if you see it later, howsoever you could remember, you can note it down accordingly, right? So what else you feel is a hindrance for delivering the speech? How many of you have mentors? Or is there anybody who doesn't have mentor? Okay. How many, those are mentors, are you really getting it mentored? Yes. If you are not able to do that perfectly, please try to do that. Because there is a timeline you should give to the mentor as well in order to devote time for building your script, right? So please try to get it mentored, and also try to, as much as possible, try to observe everything and also note all the points that you encounter on a day-to-day basis. Now, after you have an idea, what you do? Draft it. Okay, what else?
Improvise.
Sorry? Improvise it. Okay, so before sending to the mentor for review, try to please self-review multiple times. You know, the wastage of time that mentor undergoes in order to better your draft, that could be actually reduced and brought out to be a wonderful speech if we are able to self-review it multiple times. Okay, so this might be a small, very small thing, but actually it makes a difference, because when I mentor, I face this struggle, because they just write, normally, at least some of them, they, due to many situations, they write it and then simply send it, but it requires so much of review, it could have been avoided if they have self-review, right? Now, Naren, do we have that balance? Okay. So, now let us talk about judging, okay? So, as I mentioned, the Arangetram part, right? It takes 7 years or probably 5 years. Some children might complete even within 3 years based on their hard work and also their talent that they have, the skill that they possess. So 3 years to 5 years to 7 years. And that is what exactly is needed. I am not talking about the timeline of 3 years or 5 years to contest, but what I am telling is, as much as possible, deliver the speech on stage. It might be a short TT speech, table topic speech. And remember, it's called table topics contest, table topic speech contest. Anything that you present here is a speech. Speech means it should have a proper structure, opening, body, conclusion, and it should have all parameters. Probably there may be a bit of variation in terms of table topics, right? So try to give as much as speech as possible before contesting. And if you are a new Toastmaster, it is still fine, you can go at contesting. But remember, to become a winner someday, definitely all these hard work will pay off. Okay. So now coming to the ballot. Okay. So in terms of judging, those who are new, there are a set of judges. There are some criteria how many judges have to be present. That I will not cover. So there are a set of judges who will judge a particular speech, who is the speech that is delivered by a speaker or a contestant based on certain criteria. Okay. So there are around 8 criteria. Okay, so it is majorly divided as per the ballot. This is given by Toastmasters International. It is not something that we discovered from our district. It is from Toastmasters International, universally followed. And there are 8 criteria, and there are sub-criteria for these 8 criteria. Okay, so we will not cover in detail, but I want to put forward certain thoughts. So there are major three different portions. One is content, other is delivery, and third is language. Alright, so these are the 3 different categories. Now let's there are three different aspects or three different portions of speech that we build. If we are able to concentrate on these three, we would be able to satisfy this ballot. And by the way, those who have been already a contestant, or if you are aspiring contestant, the reason why I gave the title is model question paper is this is a model question paper. Assume this as a model question paper because you know in what is the model on which you would be scored. Okay, the ballot how they would be marking, right? But there are certain things beyond model question paper. How many times we prepare during our exams, we go with the model question paper and we don't find any of those questions over there, right? So similarly here we have to build our skills in terms of being a better speaker, and definitely this model question paper will help out to achieve more scores. Okay, so now the content we spoke about. Okay, so now what are the few important points that you need a speech should have? What are the elements that a speech should have? Ignore the ballot criteria. What are the elements that a speech should have? Introduction. Okay, structure of the speech. Okay, what else?
Some wow elements.
Wow elements. Excellent. Okay, wow elements. Core objective. Super. What is the other terminology for that? Core objective. Message. Purpose. Brilliant. Okay, what else? Closure. Yeah, that comes with the structure, organization of the speech. Anything else?
Voice variety.
Excellent. Voice variety, the body language, all the delivery aspects. Right? What else?
Usage of props.
Huh? Props. Super. Usage of props. We are missing one particular element.
Message.
Message. Yeah, quotes are something to do with introduction, conclusion. Yes.
Relatable elements.
Humor. Okay, humor is a powerful weapon. Yeah. Interactive. Excellent. Okay.
Being confident.
Content. Okay. What is that one important thing? If I am speaking, who are required? Audience. We are forgetting the most important fact. See, in my opinion, from my understanding and in my experience, there are three aspects of a speech. If we are able to focus that, I am sure we will be able to satisfy this ballot. Okay, if you have been a contestant or you are contesting, please note that we don't write a speech based on this ballot. We write a speech filling our heart and soul, and then we try to match with the ballot if you are thinking of the winning perspective. Now there are three aspects as I mentioned. First one is the point that you mentioned, purpose. A speech should have a proper purpose. What is the purpose?
Engaging the audience.
Somebody who had done, yes, engaging the audience. Somebody who has done purpose of a speech. There is one project. What are the purposes?
That's generic purpose and specific purpose.
Apart from that.
Give value to
Call to action.
Okay, value to the audience. That is another point. Okay, so purpose, it should be inspiring. Do you remember? Inspiring, motivational, informative, humorous. Okay, so there are 4 or 5 purposes. All other purposes are subcategories of those purposes. So your speech, any speech should have a purpose. What is the purpose of a humorous speech contest? Entertain and humor. Yes, entertaining is another purpose, right? So the purpose of humorous speech, if somebody tells, I have heard people telling there is no purpose required in a humorous speech contest. No. The purpose itself is to entertain and bring out humor, right? So please remember the first very important aspect that we have to consider in building a speech, be it a proper pathway speech or a contest speech, first is purpose. Okay, of course the objective of the pathways project that gets aligned with the purpose, right? Of course in the delivery aspect as well. Now the second important point that I mentioned was audience, right? Audience. I'll tell you why I am considering these 3 as important. All these ballot criteria will match with it. And the third that he mentioned is the value. What is the value that we have to deliver in a speech? What is the value, speech value?
To motivate or to inspire or change the person.
Okay, to change somebody's perspective. What else? What is the value? Okay, so if I come with take away, brilliant. Okay, if I come with a speech that Thomas sir had given it before 2 years, I just copy that speech and deliver it Will I add value to the audience? No? Why? So what is the value?
Original.
Excellent. Originality. And there should be logic in whatever we speak. Right? So there should be some logic with the logic with which I speak. So there are, what are the three elements? First is purpose, audience, and value, speech value. Now coming to this ballot, speech development, effectiveness, these two revolve around the purpose. Okay, of course, effectiveness deals with audience as well, but it deals predominantly with the purpose. Speech value, as such, it is a standalone entity, of course, all intertwined with purpose and audience, predominantly speech value on the purpose and definitely on this value itself. And if you see, speech value alone carries 25 marks. So the subcategories are, as he mentioned, the originality, okay, the original thought. So what should I do? Any speech for that matter, unless or otherwise, in terms of Pathways project, if the objective demands that you have to pick a speech from outside, unless or otherwise there is a demanding objective, mostly we go with the personal stories, right? We go, and that is where we would be able to build the credibility, and that is the point that we would drive on the originality aspect. Okay, so the original thought. So we understood about the content, speech development, effectiveness, speech value, all revolves around purpose and speech value. Now coming to the physical. What is physical? Okay, so now let me tell one particular contest. Okay, it was a division contest. There was one guy, as soon as he was called on stage, nobody saw him till that point in time. He just removed his pants and he went in shorts with a jersey and he stood on the stage. As soon as his name was announced, for example, contestant number 1, Balaji, Toastmaster, contestant number 1, Balaji, contestant number 1 with the speech time. Okay? So now, as a judge, what you would have thought? He was standing in shorts with a sports shoe with a jersey. And jersey not a full sleeves but a half sleeves. Sleeveless. Player. But as a judge or as a person, audience, what you would have thought at the first instant?
It's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. Any other thought?
Curious, I will be. I won't judge.
Furious. Okay. Curious. Super. Curious. Okay. So majority of the thought process goes is it's not appropriate. Right? It's not. How much time?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes got over. Left. Okay. So it's not appropriate. That is the first thought that comes in mind. But that is where physical comes into matter and manner comes into matter. You know what he spoke about? He spoke about a volleyball or some storyline with his experience in being a volleyball player. So we have to, as a judge or even as a member of the audience, as a co-contestant, we have to understand that there is a purpose or a manner with which a speaker might be coming on the stage. Okay? So the physical, voice modulation and mannerism all deals with audience, and mannerism also deals with purpose of the speech. Okay, so we have to deal not just with the audience. The mannerism is the enthusiasm with which I deliver the speech, and definitely that should be driven by a purpose and of course to the audience, right? And finally, appropriateness, and there is the last 2 points are dealing with the language perspective. And how does that matter? It again revolves around the audience, because the language that I use should be understandable by the audience, right? And it should also serve the purpose. It should also justify the purpose with which I am speaking. So once again, I repeat, it is the purpose, audience, and the speech value which drives your ballot. If we are able to satisfy in every single speech, definitely I am sure you would be able to give one of the best speeches that you would have given. Okay. Now there are certain points that when I was speaking with Jayashree, there are certain points that we have to consider as a speaker. It should come naturally. Now coming to voice modulation, Thomas had mentioned about voice modulation. So, and also the body language. There was one particular contestant, when there was a situation where the contestant was speaking about a sorrow, story. All of a sudden, the contestant brought some sponge and it squeezed and brought the water, and then as if she was crying. Do you require this kind of body language? What would you do if you are a speaker?
I don't do that.
Okay. So when I was delivering one speech about my father, I literally froze in between and I wasn't able to speak further. Okay. I am not a person who exhibits so much of body language or voice modulation. But that speech actually brought in. So this physical, voice modulation and mannerism, the body language should be completely intertwined with our content. It should not stand alone. How many times we have watched movies where the bodybuilders or track comedy would be separate. It would not be completely amalgamated with the story at all, right? So we might get bored. So this physical, voice and mannerism should be completely intertwined with the actual content, right? So if there should be appropriateness in the body language or the voice modulation with which we deliver the speech, all right? Now, there is one more important point. As a contestant, if you are becoming a contestant, don't target just the judges, right? It becomes a regular practice that they are more focused on impressing or probably making the judges to vote for more marks. No, it is not the case. As a speaker, we have to win the hearts and souls of the audience who are listener, and judges are also one amongst the audience. Of course, they are separate entities in terms of judging, but they are also a member of audience. So please focus on the entire audience, please enjoy the speech, and what is the most important powerful tool to build a speech? Personal stories in general, and obviously personal stories in order to build credibility, right? So personal stories, that is one of the most powerful weapon to build a speech, and as Thomas sir was mentioning, the humor, right? So it is a powerful tool, and please remember, for international speech contest there is no written rule that it should be humorous, right? It is a tool to elevate the way you convey the message in a powerful way, right? If there is no humor, it doesn't mean I would not get marks. It is not that way, right? So it is not the purpose with which an international speech contest is built. All right. Now, how many of you have felt as a member of the audience, or probably as a judge, one of the judges, you might have felt this contestant did a fabulous job, but he or she is not placed even in top 3 or just third, but I voted him first place. You might have thought. Now let me give you a simple calculation. Let's assume there are 8 judges. Okay, there are 8 judges, 3 contestants. Let's assume 3 contestants, or probably some X number of contestants. There are 8 judges. Now, contestant number 1. Okay, she is marked by 5 judges, 3rd place, which means 1 mark. Okay, so let's assume those who are new. I'll speak in layman terms. 5 judges have given 1 mark, okay, to the contestant number 1, right? So how many marks? 5. Now, out of those 3 remaining judges, 2 judges have given first place, which is 3 marks for contestant number 4. So now how many marks? 6. The 8th judge, okay, 8th judge, he or she has not given those 2 contestants in any of the top 3. Okay. Now consider these 2 cases. Contestant number 1 and 4. Who is the winner? 4. You might have thought contestant number 2 or contestant number 1 should have been placed in the first place. Now we understand it is the combined probability or the combination of the set of judges, and it is not determined how I would mark a particular contestant. Even if I hear the same speech, after 10 minutes, would I mark him the first place? No, there is no guarantee. So please understand, if you are a contestant, there are certain calculations that goes behind that might not come in a favor of us as a contestant. So if we are able to accept it, I am sure we would evolve as a better contestant every single time. And that doesn't mean everybody did a fabulous job in judging. I am not quoting that also. But please understand that there is a process behind which sometimes might not work in our favor. Now coming to that Arangetram part, why I mentioned is that there are certain contestants in our district, or even you would have seen in World Championship, no matter what, you might have prepared for 100 days for an international speech contest, but a contestant, you are sure he or she would win. Why? They might have gone through 10 years of rigorous practice, delivering speeches back and forth, and their hard work would pay off someday. So please do that hard work, keep on doing that hard work. If you have the intent to win, or even if not as a contestant to win the contest, but to deliver and inspire or serve the purpose, the entertaining, all the purposes that you want to serve, please give your fullest of the participation. As a speaker, you prepare, and then when you deliver, you will be able to win the hearts of the audience. And more importantly, I personally tell my mentees is that more than winning the trophies, only when somebody comes and sees in your showcase, they'll ask, where did you win? And the beauty of that is that in our Toastmaster speech contest, they would not have mentioned our name if we are a winner, right? So please remember, more than the trophies, if you are able to win the heart of the audience or heart of the listeners, or even if you are able to trigger somebody's thought process in a very nice perspective, I am sure you will be a winner some other day, if not that particular day. So that is the intent with which we have to contest. And any questions? Yes.
We talked about the ballot. There are some elements beyond ballot that does play in being a winner on that day.
Okay.
So share some thoughts on that.
Okay. So as I mentioned, somebody's hard work will pay off some other day, and they come up with the very finest wow element. That wow element would be probably set up in the conclusion, or probably the story itself would be a wow element, or probably some elements that they add as part of the speech. It could be a humor that might stand alone, or that might give a competitive edge when of course we don't do a comparison of contestants, but that might give a competitive edge in terms of marking by a particular judge or a set of judges. Okay, that wow element actually plays a major role in terms of winning, probably faring better than other contestants. That is one particular thought. Another thing is that, sometimes it happens that our environmental factors should also be conducive. While speaking, sometimes a contestant mic goes off, that might create a panic in the contestant. It should be a better day for us, and definitely that would actually serve as the winning factor in case if you are in top 3. Did I answer your question? Okay, and please remember, the delivery would never stand alone. And even if you are going as a judge, just because I am on the stage, please don't give marks. Okay, if I am doing appropriately, I am concluding. If we are doing it appropriately, pertaining to that particular speech or the storyline that I am delivering, definitely you have to give marks. But just because I am using this day, just because I am looking at few of the contestants or audience, we don't give marks. That's what I train my judges personally. So please remember, as a contestant or as a speaker, we have to consider all these elements. Give equal participation to the audience. That is a way of grabbing their attention. There could be other elements like interactive, or starting with a quote, starting with a question, whatever form it may be. Apart from that, if we are able to focus on the audience, connect them, contact them in their eyes, and give a heartfelt speech, I am sure that audience attention will be easily grabbed. Okay, any other question?
According to you, what are the wrong way of judging?
Okay.
Poor judging.
Okay, poor judging, that's a separate, it's like 1 hour or 2 hours I could speak, but the thing is that please don't, before talking about poor judging, as a speaker, please remember title plays a very, very crucial role. Title plays a very, very crucial role. Please try to connect the title throughout your speech, or at least some portions of the speech which becomes meaningful for your content, right? And in terms of poor judging, there are multiple factors, but it depends on the individual, because they have to think from the contestant's perspective. That is being a good judge. They have to think from the contestant's perspective. If I had been a contestant, is there something that I would do better? Definitely those points also have to be thought into place. And as a contestant, please remember, deliver a speech and prepare a speech that will go to the next level. Don't stick to only club level. Think of the audience perspective. If I am talking about my college days, which is very intrinsic to one particular college, okay, probably the cab facility that I use in my office, that might not be applicable for every other office. right? So have a generic topic that everybody would be able to relate, at least majority of them able to relate, then we will be able to connect with the audience. And judging, definitely I have so many points. Right now it is that one particular perspective. Being a good judge is think from the contestant's perspective primarily and stick to the ballot. No other questions? Okay, so thank you so much for being wonderful audience. Hope I made some meaningful speech and session, and hope I was able to cover those 3 points as part of my speech: the purpose, audience, and the value. Thank you so much for the
Thank you very much. Purpose, audience, and value. You practice what you preach. Thank you very, very much. And we wouldn't let you go so fast. I would request the Madam President to say thank you in her own special way.
Thank you, Subbu, for first accepting to be giving a session over here. So every time I've seen Subbu giving a session on judges, right? But it's the first time I wanted him to give it from this perspective on what it would be for the contestants to think from the judges' point of view to win a contest. And when I thought who would do that, I thought Subbu would be the right person to do it. I have seen him for the last 2 years as being the chief judge or being the judge for the international speech contest. And for me, it was like an 8 parameters, and the way I look at the ballot, it was always confusing. But for me now, it's all about 3 things, right? Purpose, value, and audience. Thanks for keeping that in a nutshell and enlightening us, and lovely having you.
So, the President was happy. Now let me deliver the bad news. Third, you know that we had planned a semi-finals this time because we have a lot of people coming in. They have only budgeted for a semi-finals. You better budget for a quarter-finals now. After you had such, but I must for your clarity, for your candor, and going into minute details that are often missed when people talk about developing a speech, because you looked at from the X-ray side. So very good insight we've got. Thank you very much for that. Now we move forward with what? What are the 4th section that's yet to happen? Table topics, absolutely. So, meanwhile, request the timer to please give us names of all the qualified speakers. Now, all the audience, they are qualified to judge and give the votes. So, please give the names.
All the three prepared speakers are qualified.
Wonderful. That's a good beginning. So, do your voting on the side, and guests would get a sheet of paper, I guess?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, thank you very much for that. And now we move on to table topics. Table topics, I'm sure the table topic master will explain it. But I must say this from my experience over the last many years. Some people would say, how can I disappear? How can I become invisible? God, please help. Some others would say, God, please tell this lady to call my name. You don't have to confess which side you belong. You will soon know. But I'm happy to introduce the table topics master, who is Toastmaster Sri Annapurni. She is best qualified for this program. You know why? Why? She's a headhunter. She's a headhunter. She knows who to catch. And she recently enrolled for a program called Mindful Moms. You know why? Ask me why. Why? Because she has a two-year-old son, Skanda, who is mischievous guy. That's why. Please come. In the 7th standard, please come here. In the 7th standard, she asked her Dad, how will God know all my mischief? Dad said, how will God know all that you say when you pray? That's the answer. How would you?
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So now is the table topic section. Table topics is nothing but an impromptu session that each speaker will be coming up and speak on the topic for 2 minutes. So let's get started. Toastmaster Raja. What is that one question that changed the way you think? What is that one question that changed the way you think?
One question that changed the way that I think is it's from my manager. Whenever from my first company, whenever I used to take decision, he always asked me one thing: how you will think this thing will work after 5 years? How you will think this thing will work after 10 years? Will there be any opportunity for this particular idea, or you are quoting after 10 years? He always made me to think long term. So it stuck with me. So from then on, whenever I started thinking about something, I always think, is it going to be beneficial for the company, for the team, for all the stakeholders long term? That was the one question that stuck with me always. So in a personal life also, if I need to buy something, for example, it can be a furniture, it might look good, it is valued at 5,000 rupees. But there is a thick wood furniture, it is valued at 20,000 rupees, but it is very costly. Then I will be thinking, is it a long-term investment? Will it help me if I am going to invest 20,000 rupees in this thing? Then I will take a right decision. So that question stuck with me forever. Is it a long-term? That is the question. Thank you.
Yes, Babadari. How do you usually spend your weekends?
Okay, so this is my second session with the Toastmasters, and generally my weekends are pretty relaxed. That I don't know how my weekends look during the weekdays, because my weekdays are very bad. But if I get time during my weekends, I try to relax. I first finish up whatever work I had piled up to say that I'll be doing during the weekend, that I'll be finishing up first, then spending time with my family, catching up with my friends, and trying to do something that interests me. For example, coming to this Toastmaster session, which I wanted to try always. Something that I've been putting off for a long time, which I wanted to do. So those kind of things that I might want to try is something that I do during the weekends.
Thank you for spending your weekend here. Toastmaster Saji. Do you think work-life balance is possible today? Why or why not? Do you think work-life balance is possible today? Why or why not?
Thank you, TMOD. Apologies. Thank you, TD Master. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Work-life balance is an interesting topic. I would say it depends upon the how you take it. I will take my example. I know I'm an introvert person, and I apparently came to a sales job. So for that kind of a person, that work-life balance, I will have a lot of work, and which from the starting I'm not doing a job which I like. But now it's been changing. But I'm saying, for me, if I'm getting kind of a job which I don't like, I will feel that my work-life balance is not good and all. But if I take my example, I will take my wife as an example. Her passion is dance, and she's doing that as her job. Then for her, if she want to dance for an hour, or she want to dance for a day, or she want to dance for 48 hours, so it doesn't make any difference. She will not complain. So I would believe that it depends upon the person to person. For somebody, doing a lot of work will be feel very stressful. For somebody, it will be very enjoyable. Over to you.
Toastmaster money can buy happiness?
Anyone saying money can't buy happiness is definitely rich. Because there is no person who needs money says that money cannot buy happiness. They say money is also the root of all evil. Then when you come to that perspective, how can money buy happiness or not buy happiness? Happiness is subjective. You may be happy with a little amount of money as long as you have the right company to enjoy it with. You will be devastated with even a lot of money if you don't have the right persons to enjoy it with, or if you put it in the wrong things which are not meant for you. So when money is so subjective in deciding your happiness, how can you let it decide whether money can make you happy or not? So my answer to this question is money can't buy you happiness because you decide how happy you are with what money you have.
For sharing your wonderful insights. Toastmaster Chandra. Do you always ask enough questions or settle for what you do? Do you always ask enough questions or settle for what you do?
Good afternoon, everybody. I have always been a very inquisitive child, like most other children. And I spent a lot of my upbringing asking plenty of questions, to the point that I would feel I am burdening my parents. I remember distinctly when my mom was in the kitchen and I was asking something of no importance, come to think of it, but I can't think of it. That's why it probably wasn't that important. But I asked my dad, do I ask too many questions? And that's when he said, you have to, you need to. That's how you understand how to get by in this world. Of course, he wasn't this articulate back then, and I didn't understand it this well back then. So eventually that kind of translated into how I grew up, the kind of decisions that I took, the way my life progressed. And I had a naturally inquisitive mindset, so that got me into the scientific method of thinking, which was innately asking a lot of questions. So, of course, every now and then, because you're overwhelmed with the kind of work that you do, and because you don't have a lot of time to think, the number of questions that you end up asking gradually drops. But I think I still continue to ask a lot of questions. Thank you.
I think that was a very good reply from your father. You have to keep asking questions. And I'm going to take away that. Toastmaster Rohit. Where do you find inspiration? Where do you find inspiration?
Very good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I don't go look out for inspiration under the tree or under the rock or inside a cave. I can see inspiration from a lot of people. I need not look at just my parents or seniors or elderly people in my family. I can even get some inspiration from my nephews and nieces who are just 10, 12 years old. Because the way they are growing, in the kind of atmosphere, environment they are growing, there's something to learn from them as well. I need not find inspiration, go to a freedom fighter. Of course, they are very inspirational people. There are celebrities who are inspirational. There are high achievers where you can get some inspiration from. But I need not go, of course, you do get some inspiration. There's a little bit of inspiration you take from different people and combine everything together and see how you can, how it inspires you and you mold your life accordingly. So inspiration, it is not that you go looking for inspiration, it is right there. It's just about how you find it and how you use it to your own best advantage. Thank you.
Thank you. and Toastmasters. With this, I end the session and hand over the stage to Toastmaster Pradeep.
Thank you very much, ma'am. You know, I must thank you for being a better advocate of asking questions than I could be today. Brilliantly done, and I'm glad you asked one of the really inquisitive people to come and give the testimony. So I'm glad that I got some unexpected support from some unexpected quarters. But that is the truth. That is why I got the support. So then we move on. I would request the G to come back. We will make sure that we will reach his entire passengers on time to have their tea as promised. Over to you.
Now is the time for qualitative analysis. The first speech evaluator is a young, energetic senior manager in medical coding at a healthcare solution company. This person is a very good entertainer. For example, the last fun session, the formation of mummy, and also a humorous speaker. Like her name Priya, wherever she goes, she spreads love and brings a smile to everyone around her. Please welcome the first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Priya Darshini.
A big round of applause to our icebreaker speech who have given a wonderful and her content of the speech, as we were seeing, it had an opening, a body and a conclusion, and you could all witness how confident she was standing, smiling throughout the speech. She was delivering it very confidently, and that is what speaks like what her practice is on. And when she was speaking on the content with the grandfather or on the 6th grade or the 7th grade, we were all able to connect. I was able to go back to my own childhood days. So that's how she made the audience aware and the interest level she pulled in. And there were places where she was talking about her struggle on getting into the NEET and not able to get into the course. Almost everyone wanted to do something and ended up doing something, and we are in the journey of excelling that. So all these made her speech to have the connect with the audience and made everyone to have the interest to hear. So kudos to that. Just few things that I wanted to let you know so that you can enhance your speech on your oncoming days. One is on our eye contact. Just have to see all the audience and speak. It will definitely make yourself enjoy the speech more. When you get reactions, when you see reactions from people, that will make you more happy and more engaging on giving your speech. Next, on your body gestures as well as on the way that you have to use the stage on required basis whenever is required. That is also a suggestion I'm giving. And the third one is on the vocal variety. You had a very good storyline. You had a very good place where you were having happy period on your childhood days with your grandfather, and there was a little down pitfall where you lost your grandfather, and there you were changing into a different school on the 7th grade, and you were staying alone, where you were having an emptiness. So there you could have used your vocal varieties and show some changes in our speech, and so that will also engage more closely with the audience. And when you go for the NEET, with so much struggles, you could have shown those things. So those vocal varieties will definitely would have enhanced your speech into a different level. So being an icebreaker, you have already done a great job. And conclusion, you told like you want to improve your communication, you have come to the Toastmasters. Everyone here are the same, but there can be something added to have a better conclusion. I won't say this is not better, added more words to it so that it could have been more better. And also you could have told like what you want from Toastmasters. or no problem, even if you don't figure it out, because everyone here are figuring it out already. Okay, all the best for you. Thank you so much.
Just the second speech evaluator is an aviation professional with over 14 years of experience. Now working as an airworthiness officer in TCCA. He has a pretty daughter, Aradhana. Today is the National Girl Child Day. He enjoys running, watching cricket, and nowadays arranging Medley Toastmasters badminton games also. He is also the VPM of the Medley Toastmasters Club. Please put your hand together to welcome today's second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Pradeepkumar.
So my target speaker, Toastmaster Pradeepkumar. So his project name is Writing a Speech with Purpose, where he